Hello and welcome to the very last edition of BOI Weekly for the year 2020. Boy, this has been a very interesting year and the reasons are obvious. The COVID-19 pandemic shook the entire world and kept us all locked down for at least 3 months at a given time. The impact, especially on businesses, has been far-reaching. Quite frankly, businesses and economies around the world would never be the same again and will continue to deal with the real-time and after effects of the pandemic for months and years ahead. Well, in spite of all, the Bank of Industry stood up to be counted as a development finance institution and was there for Nigerian businesses when it mattered the most. Also, the federal government, through the bank, came up with intervention programs to support local businesses and shield them from the impact of the pandemic. Today on the show, we will signpost some of the very strategic interventions by the Bank of Industry and by extension, the federal government in major sectors of the Nigerian economy in the year 2020. These include health, tech businesses, agriculture, food processing, oil and gas, and even fast-moving consumer goods. I'm Kayode Alayande. Welcome to the program. When we said Happy New Year in January 2020, many people, especially businesses, had their goals and aspirations planned out, fired up and ready to go as the year progressed. But apparently, the year 2020 had a different plan. COVID-19 struck. In no time, the entire world was on a complete shutdown, except for essential services. Expectedly, businesses all over the world soon began feeling the impact of the pandemic, and enterprises in Nigeria had their fair share. Thankfully, they didn't have to bear the burden alone. The federal government created a special 75 billion naira intervention known as the Survival Fund and Guaranteed Offtake Scheme. The purpose was to cushion the effect of the pandemic on small and micro enterprises across the country, who are the worst hit by the crisis.
Because of the pandemic, coronavirus pandemic, and the negative effects of that, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, felt that Nigerians needed to be assisted, especially the MSME companies, the medium, the micro, small, and medium enterprises. And there are many different tracks of this assistance from federal government. Because the idea was that between the artisans and the transporters, both combined, all over the nation, we're looking at about 330,000 self-employed people that the government planned to support with this scheme. Artisans have started in about 24 states now. People that drive buses, that drive cars, Uber, Bolt, taxi drivers, keke napep people, Okada riders, and cart pushers. Under this track, once you qualify, then the person is entitled to up to 30,000 naira. That's the amount each person is going to get.
This track, which is being launched today, we give a one-off grant of 30,000 naira each to qualify individuals operating in the transport sector. These include ride-share drivers such as Uber, Bolt, taxi drivers, bus drivers, keke napep drivers, Okada riders, and cart pushers.
I just wanted to use this opportunity to encourage us all to partake in this. You can see and you know that we have said that we're going to pay salaries. We have paid. As we speak, we have paid almost 200,000 salaries for staff. We said that we're going to pay artisans. We have paid. Now we are saying that we're going to pay transporters. We are going to pay. We told you that we're going to register businesses. We are doing that. For every track that President approved on the 1st of July 2020, we are implementing as it was approved, not changing anything. We are giving to the people as he said to give to the people. We are ensuring that you are in charge, you are involved in every way possible.
As we speak, no fewer than 300,000 Nigerians benefited from the intervention under different categories, which include the payroll support program, as well as grants for artisans and players in the transport sector. Under the Survival Fund scheme, the federal government paid at least 59,000 artisan beneficiaries across 24 states of the federation. Also, 238,868 individuals got the federal government grants through 41,726 small businesses captured under the payroll support scheme. The numbers continue to rise as payments for the survival funds are still ongoing.
It's a great idea, it's a welcome idea because I know it's going to help a lot of females, because I'm going to come from the aspect of the females that are doing this job. A lot of them are really struggling, getting cars and everything. So with this aid, it will help them have their own or own their own car, and the payments will go at, they pay at a reasonable amount will be paid, and that will make life better for us.
It's a good thing, and it will help us go a long way.
Aside from the 75 billion naira intervention, this year we also brought to you some of the businesses from different sectors of the Nigerian economy that enjoyed the direct support of the Bank of Industry. Even though most businesses were shut down during the COVID-19 lockdown, some who were considered essential services had to manage to keep it going. Inter Asa is an integrated farm located in Nasarawa State.
Inter Asa Farm is a farm that we started here since 2017. We started with the 2 pens, and then considering the market, we decided that let us expand, but we had no resources. We will now approach Bank of Industry for resources to expand, and graciously they offered us a facility that made us to expand these 2 pens. We have expanded our capacity from 20,000 to 45,000 beds. These 2 pens alone gave us 27,000.
The operation is capital intensive.
Yeah, it is.
Now, tell me about the value of the Bank of Industry's intervention and what you used those funds for.
Yeah, the total value for the BOI intervention is about 55 million naira, which basically for the equipments. Yeah. The solar panel, which was to supply a standby additional power, cost about 12 million naira, and then the equipment cost the 42 million naira thereabout, which comprises of automatic air collector, the automatic feeding system, the silos for storage. We have, each pen has a 5-ton silo for the storage outside there that then move the food through the auger into the feeding system for automatic serving of the pens. So basically the equipment aspect of the cages and the solar panel would make out the 55 million naira.
In the oil and gas sector, G-Gas, a subsidiary of Good Intentions Limited, got a 120 million naira intervention to support its operation.
I happened to hear about Bank of Industry being interested in women coming into the oil and gas sector. A friend just pushed that out to me, and I approached them without knowing any single person there. I got there, I was able to get an inroad into somebody, and they said, oh yes, we are interested in that. And that flared my interest. And I was given an appointment to come to the office and bring out my ideas, which I did. And they were very much interested and encouraged me from that point on. There was a commercial bid for a gas plant in Anambra. And I applied and I got it. And Bank of Industry took it up and gave me funds to get it and then set up the business. When the opportunity came out, I ventured into oil and gas and approached BOI for the support, and here am I, having an LPG plant, which I got in Onitsha, and that's the place I am right now. Being in a market hub, and in an industrial area, the LPG goes beyond just domestic home use. Some of these companies use LPG to fuel their forklifts. So we supply LPG to some of these companies. Instead of using diesel, they use gas, and that is setting the pace for even the auto gas. They are already using it for forklift, quite a number of, and we tapped into that to ensure that we win some of the customers around that area and beyond. And we found it something that could go far, in the sense that the main thing is really for home use, but then it has other uses. The way I will appreciate them is to seize this opportunity to say a big, big, big thank you to them. They have been highly, highly supportive.
Next, we move to the Bank of Industry's intervention in the fast-moving consumer goods sector, more specifically, tissue paper manufacturing.
McDonald Industries in Nigeria Limited is into paper recycling. We recycle paper to tissue. And also into conversion, because we said we provide raw materials to toilet tissue industries. We provide raw materials. We recycle in a big room. The people that is producing the toilet tissue will come and buy and start cutting it in their own sizes and put their own label. The time we are doing the proposal, we didn't put the installation as something that it would be hard. The money they gave to us is to buy the machineries, which we brought into Nigeria. And in bringing the machineries in Nigeria, we also find out that because of the location of the place, the water that's needed in this factory, the water that will be moving out from the factory will be excess that we let the masses outside. We now started looking at how do we now reduce the quantity of water that will go out from the factory. Then Chinese said they have equipments. That one is another special factory, you will see it, where water will be recycled. Instead of all the water you are using going out as waste, you now recycle the water. The water will now come back, you use it again, until the water now started being so much dirty before you flush it out. So we now went back to BOI and tell them this is what. They will say there's nothing we can do. We have to procure the machines, because if we start removing all the water we are getting from this factory, we may have problem with the public. We now process the documents to import the equipments for water recycling. Because assuming that we just start the factory like that, at the end of the day, some people outside will go to court, close the factory, because the water that is coming out from your factory is destroying even the farmland. So we have to get what is called water recycling. You recycle water to become the new one before you use it again. The capacity of the machine they gave to us is 10 tons. 10 tons capacity for a day. But this company provided 5 tons. 5 tons is from personal money of the company, making a total of 15 tons. But the BOI gave us money for 10 tons. We recycle paper to tissue. The tenure of the facilities, I think, is about 4 years. 4 years with a year monitoring, that is 5 years. And as I told you, we have some challenges when we're trying to start. At the end of the day, the facility was restructured. We went for the working capital. At the end of the day, working capital was provided to us, and we have started, full operation.
The COVID-19 pandemic also gave the world a reason to take a closer look at how we can get things done more efficiently using technology. The Bank of Industry also ensured that young people and indigenous tech startups were not left out of its intervention for 2020. Here at the Vertebra Tech Hub, Aja, Lagos, young startups have access to a variety of exquisite shared office spaces, high-speed internet, and a well-equipped robotics training lab, even for children. Managed by Vertebra Limited, a tech company, the hub seeks to drive adoption of digital technology through capacity development, entrepreneurship, and inclusive tech education in Nigeria. The facility also affords young people the room to cross-pollinate ideas and incubate innovative tech solutions. Even though this is a corporate social responsibility for the Bank of Industry, BOI still believes the facility needs to be sustainably managed by experts, so it's engaged Vertebra Limited, a leading tech company, to run it. The Deputy Managing Director of Vertebra Limited tells the guests, technical partners, beneficiaries and other stakeholders about the facility.
The whole facility is providing a lot of functionalities for different categories of people. Let me take it from people who do not have the capital to go and rent an office to operate their business. They have opportunity to come in here and take what we call a co-working. By co-working, what they can simply do is to share an office with somebody. They can share that cost together. And in that cost, there are provision for internet facilities. There are provision for printing services, shared services. There's provision for beverages. There are provision for all stationery that is required. In fact, there's provision for resources. So they don't actually need to go and get a front desk to support their work. All these are provided by the facility. Again, when you come to this facility, as was demonstrated by the children, you can see that there is also a robotics. So there is a future even for people who do not have an understanding of technology. We are priming the generation of what is going to obtain in the 21st generation. And what they can see elsewhere in the world, they can also see it in this very place. That is our expectation, and these are the functionality that we expect in this facility. I mustn't forget to mention that power is a major requirement in running business in Nigeria. When you come in here, you find out that there is availability of power 24/7 all day long and all night long. You need to take note that there are a whole lot of young entrepreneurs who have innovations, who have ideas. They are looking for a place whereby they can display those ideas. When you come in here, we provide mentorship even for those business people to incubate their business, both for acceleration and all other kinds of businesses. What we try to do is we carry a principle of KYC, know who you are dealing with. What kind of business are you doing? We do a kind of an evaluation so that it doesn't become a free-for-all commerce and create problem even for the community. So we do a kind of risk analysis while you are coming in and understand your company's profile and the kind of thing that you are doing. And again, we try to understand a restriction of the limit of what that you can do because of internet fraud. So we do all those criteria evaluation before people are onboarded into the facility. What we have also done is to design a very flexible system. For instance, you can take a space for an hour. You can take a space for a day. You can take a space for a week. It all depends on your capabilities, on what you actually want to do. So these are available to us. For instance, you have a 1-man space, you have a 2-man space, you have a 4-man space, you even have a collaborative places where not less than 18 people can sit together. So irrespective of it, you will find out that you can definitely fit into any of these at very affordable rates.
9 Mobile is also a technical partner on this project, and they are providing high-speed internet facility. In his remark, the MD CEO Bank of Industry, Mr. Kayode Ikpiton, explains why the bank is pursuing a corporate social responsibility of this nature.
This facility is a CSR program of the bank that is targeted at promoting skills development, youth entrepreneurship, and job creation in new technology and innovations. BOI's mission is to transform Nigeria's industrial sector by providing financial and business support services so that new businesses will emerge and existing enterprises will thrive.
I would like to thank the DMD of Vertebra, the Bank of Industry, as well as 9 Mobiles. Now, when you look at technology, what does it take to put something like this together? We normally use the 3 Ps. The first P is power. Bank of Industry, BOI, is powering this initiative. The second is pipe. We're talking of the bandwidth to carry loads and loads of data. 9 Mobile is doing that. Now, we have the last P. It's called the ping. Technical people will understand what I mean by the pings. You know, you take the people, you take the machine, everything interacting with each other to make the site available for production. Now, the importance of the last P is the people. People, we cannot have this place here. So this is in alignment with what Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is about. Empowering people to drive Lagos State. And he will be very proud to know that this investment is coming from a bank, also in collaboration with a telecom company and all the people involved, because it will move Lagos State forward.
The business manager, Vertebra Tech Hub, Aja, Kolapo Ogunbile, takes the entourage on a tour of the facility, from the relaxation center and game room to the private and shared workspaces, the lounge, idea hub, robot training lab, and meeting rooms. With plans to establish more tech hubs across the country, the Bank of Industry is encouraging startups to take advantage of its existing funding platforms for support, and hopes others in the private sector would complement its effort. Our hope and prayer is that the COVID-19 pandemic eventually blows out, and very quickly too, so we can have a much better 2021. In any case, here's to let you know that come what may, the Bank of Industry will always be there for you. Let the Bank of Industry support you in 2021. To learn more, log on to their website at boi.ng or visit any of their branches closest to you. For further inquiries, you can also tweet at me at KAY Alayande. And here's how we draw the curtain on BOI Weekly, not just for the week, but for 2020. I'm Kayode Alayande. See you in 2021.